shared already?
You can go ahead and share it, right? Feel free to.
Okay.
Great. All right. Good morning, good evening, afternoon, wherever time zone it may be for you. Thank you all for joining us for this session on MuleSoft Agent Scanner, part of MuleSoft Agent Fabric. We have our amazing hosts here. We have Hari from our product team, and then we have Juan, who you all may know as one of our amazing ambassadors here in the community. And they are going to take you through just what Agent Scanner does, its capabilities, and help answer any questions. If there's questions that we can't get to that are in the chat, we will take them offline and we will come back to you with those answers. So with that, I will let Hari and Juan take it away.
Awesome, Caitlin. Thank you so much. Very nice to meet everyone. Just want to start with a quick introduction to both of us. Hari Shankar, I'm a solutions engineer, part of the MuleSoft pre-sales team. And I work with our communications, media, and high-tech customers, across the United States. Juan, would you like to?
Sure, of course.
Yeah.
My name is Juan Cruz Vaso. I am an integration architect. I work at Avio Consulting right now. I'm also a MuleSoft ambassador. I've been on the integration world for more than 15 years, and in the last several years, I've been working with MuleSoft, mostly. So right now, trying to jump into the agentic era. So it's really nice to see how things are shifting, and well, we are moving along with them.
Awesome. Thank you, Juan. So let's jump in and let's kick this off. And I want to start with talking about the problem we are solving with Agent Fabric and specifically Agent Scanners, which is what we'll double click into today. And then second half of the session, Juan will walk us through a live demo of the product as well. So a lot of exciting content for you all here. This is a problem that we have solved already for over 2 decades for our customers, right? Where an organization, an average enterprise, has close to 900 different applications, and silos exist across these applications and domains. And we solve this for our customers with our approach around composability. Now, this problem now is manifest in a new fashion, right? Where in the agentic era, every use case, every experience is resulting in a new agent being created. Different SaaS applications, they have their own agents. Organizations are creating bespoke custom agents in-house as well. Major LLM providers are releasing their own agents sitting on top of the LLM, right? So this is leading to a massive explosion of agents and agentic assets as well. Just like we saw with the explosion of SaaS applications previously, right? Now, the challenge with this is these agents, they know how to work with their respective application, but they don't necessarily understand the broader ecosystem, the agentic ecosystem within the organization. So they don't know who the other agents are, what kind of interaction, security, governance they expect, the other agents expect. This leads to a management problem at scale, right? Agentic management problem at scale, where security is a challenge, governance is a challenge, discoverability is a challenge, and then of course the observability, the visibility into agentic interactions, it becomes a complete nightmare, right? So I'm seeing this with a number of my customers, especially high-tech customers that I work very closely with. Some of my customers have over 3,500 agents already, where they've federated the creation of agents across the enterprise, right? So everybody's creating agents, but they're struggling with the management of these agents at scale, right? So this is a very, very real problem that is already manifesting itself, especially in large organizations where agentic initiatives are, key and very front and center. And so we solved, as MuleSoft, right, as an organization, we solved this problem for our customers. We have been solving the digital transformation and the application and systems silo problem for our customers for over 2 decades now. With our approach around composability, enabling modern, RESTful, API-based front ends, and unlocking silos and enabling that digital transformation, right? What we are doing in the agentic era is really extending that capability, that we have brought to our customers to support their agentic transformation journey as well. So being able to not only discover agents and tools wherever they exist, but then also being able to orchestrate multiple agents, multiple tools across the enterprise in order to get complex tasks completed, all with security, governance top of mind, visibility top of mind, right? And this is really what it takes to enable organizations to realize that vision of the agentic enterprise. So that's the journey that MuleSoft has extended its natural capabilities to, and we're working with a number of customers on the journey for agentic transformation. And this is the reason we launched MuleSoft Agent Fabric, where Agent Fabric brings that critical capability to eliminate those silos, agentic silos, and enable agents to work with each other, firstly find each other, discover each other, right? That way you're not creating duplicate agents. If an agent exists that can do what is needed for a new complex task, let's go ahead and find that agent easily and reuse that agent, right? But once you discover an agent, you want to be able to orchestrate multiple agents to get the complex task completed, right? And Agent Fabric enables that as well. But all this needs to happen with security, with guardrails, with governance in place, so that the enterprise has the confidence in their agentic initiative, especially as they scale the initiative, right? And then the observability aspect is and can never be an afterthought. So this is what Agent Fabric delivers for our customers, hand-holding them as they embark on their agentic journey. It all starts with enterprise actionability, which is the foundation for Agent Fabric, right? So being able to unlock whatever systems exist in the organization, whatever agents exist in the organization, data repositories, LLMs, and enable actionability against these systems, right? That is critical, and that acts as a foundation for Agent Fabric. Once we have that, what you see here up top are the 4 key pillars of Agent Fabric. And we'll focus on the first pillar here, momentarily, which is Agent Registry, right? And really, Agent Registry is a central catalog of agents and agentic assets, tools, MCP servers, regardless of what platform, what framework they have been built on, right? And this enables easy discovery, orchestration, reuse of agents and agentic assets. The second pillar is the agent orchestration capability itself. And this works hand in hand with registry, where, as I mentioned, once you discover the various agents and agentic assets that are relevant to get a complex task completed, you want to be able to orchestrate them in the correct fashion, in a reliable fashion, repeatable fashion, right? So that is what the orchestration capability provides. Security governance, can never be an afterthought. This has traditionally always been a strength of MuleSoft in the API world, and this continues to be by design security governance aspects, and are integral to what Agent Fabric provides to our customers. And the last piece is the observability capability. And Agent Visualizer brings that full, rich visibility, transparency, explainability, as agents interact with each other and get complex tasks completed. Now, double-clicking into the discoverability pillar, right? And why did we, create Agent Scanner? Agent Scanner, which, by the way, is pre-GA currently. This will be GA very soon. But what we saw with customers, right, is if they want to surface agents and agentic assets within Agent Registry, they would have to either manually create YAML files, configuration files, manually upload these into Agent Registry. So extremely painful. This was a bottleneck in making that first pillar successful, right, for our customers. And even with that manual approach, you still don't have the full agent metadata surfaced within registry, right? So this is where we created Agent Scanner, where Agent Scanner automatically scans today these three specific platforms: Amazon Bedrock, Google Vertex, and Microsoft Copilot Studio. Extracts agents, agentic assets, creates the metadata in the correct fashion, correct format, and then creates those assets within Agent Registry. So huge elimination of bottleneck for our customers in surfacing their agentic assets, regardless of which platform they're sitting in, and completely making that automated. So, just diving into the mechanics of how Agent Scanner works here, right? So, our customers, if they have one or more of these platforms, they'll have one scanner, dedicated scanner per platform, right? And the scanners, once they are scheduled to run, they are guaranteed to run no later than 24 hours and no sooner than 30 days. Or the other way around, right? So they'll run, within 24 hours and no later than 30 days. And they'll pull, all the agentic assets, agents, and CP servers tools from these three platforms, check if there are updates, right? So not only new agentic assets, but then also, if there are changes to existing agentic assets, they'll discover those and then create entries within Agent Registry. And really provide that single unified view within Agent Registry of all the agentic assets, regardless of where they have been created. A few design principles that were central to our approach as we went about creating agent scanners. The first is, scanners are read-only operations, right? So they do not make changes in the source systems. They only read metadata around agents, tools, MCP servers, from the source systems. Traceability, full visibility in terms of, what did the scanner do? How did they pull these assets? How did they create the agent cards? How do they, create assets in Agent Registry? All of this is provided by design, and this was, a core design principle for us. The transparency around how agent scanners work, potentially even notifying, specific folks, specific roles, once a scan activity was completed. And then open standards has always been very close to our heart as a company, right? With the API world, RAML Swagger, but then also Open API Spec, when we saw that was becoming the mainstream, we were one of the first to support it. And so that continues in the agentic era as well, right? So as we create these agentic assets in the agent registry, we make sure that as far as possible, they are compliant to the A2A protocol, and the agent card within the A2A protocol, right? So that way, we continue to, as we create these assets, these are based on open standards and emerging protocols as well. So, the mechanics of how a scanner gets operationalized, at a high level, right? You create a scanner within Anypoint Exchange, and Juan will dive into this here momentarily, right? So it all starts with an exchange where you execute a create scanner operation. You configure the scanner against the platform of your choice, you test your connection, and then you create a scheduled job, which can run on several different intervals, as you see there within the screenshot. Once the scan runs, it'll pull new and updated agentic assets from that source platform that you've configured, and then create those assets within Agent Registry. Different outcomes that you can expect from our scanners. A success outcome, typically results when there were no errors. It was able to pull all the assets that it got and successfully created those assets in the agent registry. There could be a partial success as well, where the scan did complete. It was able to pull the agentic assets from the source platform, but some individual agents or tools were not successfully created, right? The users are notified on the status with all of these different outcomes. And then the third outcome is the system stopped, right? It crashed basically, right? It wasn't able to complete the scan and create assets within registry, and it had to stop that job. Groundhog Day logic. Let's say a user deletes an asset in Exchange. As long as it exists in the source system, the scanner, the next time it does the scan, it'll auto heal and pull the asset and recreate it, right? So the auto healing capability we are building into the scanner. And then, as I mentioned earlier, notifications, configurable, but folks that are interested in the outcome of a scan can be notified and will be notified at the end of the scan with the status. This is just a quick screenshot of what the metadata looks like when we create an entry in Agent Registry. And this is compliant to the A2A protocol and the agent card, that is part of the A2A protocol, right? So folks that are familiar with the protocol, this will look very familiar to them. So that was a quick introduction to Agent Fabric and specifically agent scanners. I want to hand it over to Juan here to walk us through a live demo of the solution.
All right. Well, let me share screen. Everyone can see Exchange?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Perfect. Well, everyone knows Exchange, and I think probably several people here faced in the past that we needed to put somewhere all our artifacts, and it turns to me that at some point in my life I needed to have a spreadsheet with all the artifacts and deployed in the different environments when they were deployed. So we need to have a place to store what we have. If you know that you have that, probably it's the same as not having it. So that's why we have Exchange in this case, to grab all the information about how the agents are going to be created and refreshed and all that. So everyone is familiar with Exchange at this point, I would say. In here, what is new is the agent scanner. We have a couple of scanners already created. I will showcase how we create a new scanner, and then I will show you a couple of things that I've been playing around with, and it's interesting to see how the tool is behaving. From the scanner perspective, what we are asked is a scanner name. In this case, let's say JCB, and this is going to be the Amazon scanner, because we are going to connect with Amazon Bedrock. It's very important that we can set up when we want the cron to be triggered. And it's also something that I discovered on the tool is that you can trigger the tool at any time if you want. From the connection perspective, we need to include this information that it will change. Let me show you how it looks like. When you select Copilot, it will ask you the tenant ID, client secrets. If you use Vertex, it will ask you for other requirements based on the platform. I will pick up the Amazon Bedrock because that's the one I want to connect with. Something very interesting with these kind of tools is that it will allow us to keep the pace on the different agentic creation that we are facing now. I have in the past, the creation of APIs was like slower, and my feeling now is that the creation of agent is much more faster than an API. We can test the connection, and we can also include an email notification if we want, and it will give us some information about the status of the execution when it was scanning for agents. We will add the scanner, and here we have it. The next run will be in 9 hours, but what we want to do is to execute it now. That way, the scanner will run, it will connect to Amazon Bedrock, and it will fetch and create any agent that is there waiting to be used. We can check the audit log of each execution, and it will give us the result. Okay, in this case, what had happened is that the execution finished. It added one agent. Okay, UI refresh, nice. We have one agent added with this configuration, and we can check the details of that execution. It will give us the day and the hour, which is important to know when it was executed. And this is the asset. The asset created was True Wellness Agent. It will fetch, like I was saying, all the metadata that is available there on the source platform. And if we go to assets, we will see it here. So that's the important thing. And if we check the last modified date, it's the latest artifact created. Something important is that every time the agent is updated, the scanner will bring that update, and it will update the corresponding asset. We have some card detail. In this case, Amazon Bedrock is not A2A compliant with the metadata that is providing, and that's why we don't see here A2A, and we have the other tab. But we can see the capabilities and the different skills that are defined on that agent. In this case, huge. We can download as the other card because it's not an A2A card. If it's A2A compatible, it will allow us to download the A2A card. And if we have that control of the asset that we have from Exchange out of the box. So that's very interesting. Also, something that had happened with me when I was playing is that with this scanner, I didn't have a successful one. I got an unsuccessful one. And it will give us some details about the errors. Or at least it is telling us that it was not able to import the agent, so we need to wait for the next run or trigger the run to see if it works. Something needs to be, of course, changed on the other side, because if I rerun this without changing anything on the source system, we will get the same result. We can delete the scanners, and when we delete, that's very important to mention that we can delete the agent beneath that scanner, so it will cascade the deletion, or we can keep the agents in our Exchange instance. In here, for example, we have the number of agents of other, and we have all the executions. In the first one, it bring 4, updated 3, and then all these assets were even removed or already in place. We have metadata about the different operations performed by the scanner. And it's also very important to mention that source of truth, in this case, are the source systems. So the agent scanner will bring that information and replicate it here, so we have that available to be used with the Agent Fabric itself. Questions so far?
I don't see any questions in the chat just yet. Everybody seems really excited, though.
Yeah. So it's very important that a tool like this will allow us to think it this way. When you have to manually be creating the agents so that you can enable them on the Agent Fabric, it's like not only a tedious task, it's also prone to error because it's a human doing that task. With this, we are fetching all the metadata information automatically. So as long as the scanner works and behaves as expected, it will be a very powerful tool. So all the silos of agents that we will see in the enterprise are going to be together in one place. We will be able to see all the agents that are there being created, updated, and we can connect to them and enable them for the rest of the enterprise.
I do have a few questions, Hari, or maybe even Juan. I'm not sure if we can answer these today or if we need to take these offline, but I'll just start going down. Hari, there is a question. Is this tool GA already?
It is not GA. This will be, GA very soon. We don't have a final date, but this is pre-GA.
Great. Is there any agent filtration allowed in Bedrock or Vertex AI?
Juan, do you want to take that?
I don't think that we have. I would now, without the complete knowledge of this, I would expect that based on the access key configuration, you will be able to see different agents. But that's something I don't know from the import perspective. If you are, and my thought is around, if your credentials are like admin credentials that can see everything, I would expect to see all the agents being imported. But my credentials have a limit access. I'm guessing the scanner will behave that way.
So that might be something we want to circle back on once it's GA and we have other credentialing. Yeah. Great. Do we anticipate other sources being added, such as Snowflake?
Yeah, that is the plan, right? Not specifically Snowflake, but the 3 platforms that you're seeing today. That is just an initial stake in the ground. But as the year progresses, our goal is to add additional platforms.
Great. And then these 2 questions sort of go together. I understand it's not GA just yet, but is this or will it be available in the trial accounts? And is there any additional cost to use this feature?
It should be GA, or rather available in trial, very soon in the trial accounts. I don't believe it is right now. From a cost perspective, as you all know, right, Agent Fabric and Agent Scanners are part of the Agent Fabric. This is not a new SKU, new product. It's really an extension of existing capabilities. So as our customers, adopt Agent Fabric, that'll result in additional consumption, right? So it'll potentially require additional. If the customer is on an older model, it'll require additional vCores, API management, potentially Flex Gateway, and so on. But this is not an additional SKU, or a new SKU rather.
Great, thank you. Another question here is, how do we set up Agent Scanner with Microsoft 365 Copilot? Is there any documentation for this setup?
Juan, you want to touch on that?
Sure. We have the capability to connect with Copilot Studio. So you will need to be able to have the tenant ID, the client and secret, and the scope that is related to the, if I'm not wrong, is the Azure, I forgot the name. They have a name for the agent platform. That is, give me 1 second, I need to remember that. Foundry, the AI Foundry, yeah, that's the name. And if your credentials have the access to that and you get that information, you will be able to connect to that. That's the key, I would say.
Great. Okay. There are some people that are reporting that they can see Agent Scanner in their Exchange. So I will go back and just confirm if maybe it did go GA today. I know there was some rumblings back and forth on it going very, very, very soon. So we'll just double check if something did go live today. That would be super exciting.
Yeah, and Caitlin, okay, just to confirm that, right? So hot off the press. So looks like Agent Scanner is GA now. So that is a correction and update. What I said earlier.
Yeah, I can see those in the other boards.
Happening real time, breaking news. It is GA as of right this second. That's amazing. All right. I do see, I think there was a question, how can we use it in Agent Network?
So, and I'm assuming, and please clarify if this is not the case, right? If this is not what you all were intending, with that question. So, when you have a large number of agents, right? Potentially pulled by Agent Scanner, from one of these platforms, potentially other platforms in the future. All of these then show up within Agent Registry. And that becomes the kind of the repository of your agents and agentic assets, right? So then broker picks up from there and is able to find various agents as needed dynamically, in order to orchestrate them to get a complex task completed, right? So this is where your equivalent of an application network starts coming together, where all your agents and agentic assets are easily discoverable, easily consumable, and more importantly by other agents, right? And then by the broker as well. And the broker orchestrates your agent network to get a real world task completed. So that's how the agent network comes to fruition and the value of the network comes to fruition. Please ask any follow-up questions if that didn't answer your question.
All right, I'm just scrolling. I apologize if I miss anybody's questions. They all just came in so fast. Do we have access control for Agent Scanner in any point platform?
Juan, if you know, could you elaborate?
I don't know, but let me check on the corresponding configuration. I would expect to see the checks on when you have the configuration of the users or the roles. This is a live check. And we are talking about, no, I don't see that. I still see on the permission side of, it is under Exchange. I don't see it under Exchange, at least in the org I'm using. I do see Exchange Administrator, Contributor, Viewer. Let me share my screen so that way it's easier. I don't see it in mine.
Yeah, and if it's not there today,
It may appear soon.
Yeah, just like going by how we've enabled capabilities within the platform, right? Every capability has some kind of a role-based access control, related to it. So yeah, expect that to come, very soon, if it's not already there today.
Great. I see. You might have just also answered this question. Somebody did ask, if we don't have Agent Scanner in our org yet, what should we check? I updated admin group to ensure all permissions were enabled for all of our groups.
Yeah, please work with your customer success manager if you have one, or open a support ticket, so we can help, right? So it might be something very specific for you. Looks like a bunch of folks are able to see the scanner there, right? So we'll have to look at what is going on within your exchange.
All right, I checked two different orgs that I have, and I haven't seen it yet.
Maybe it went GA right when we were in this session, and it is working its way through everybody's systems. I'm looking through the chat. I think we have gotten to all of the, here's a brand new one right as I was talking. Regarding Microsoft Copilot, we might need some documentation on how it should be set up on the Copilot side. Any pointers on that?
We can share documentation. I don't have the documentation, with me right now, but we can certainly follow up on that.
Great, thank you. We will make sure that that gets out to our community members.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, if there's no further items for the presentation, we'll sit here for just a couple minutes and see if any other questions come in, if that works. I hope everybody learned a lot about our new feature in Agent Fabric. I think this is so cool. I saw somebody say one day we'll have agents that create agent scanners in Agent Fabric, and so it feels very Inception. And yes, we will. This session has been recorded. We will share the recording out, and then any follow-up materials that the team has, such as documentation, slides, etc., we will make sure that that gets posted in our community space as well. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to post them here. If not, then we thank you all for coming today. Okay, everybody's saying thank you. So I think we have answered everybody's questions for now. I'm sure they're going to go play with the new features and play with products, and then we will get tons of questions later. Perfect. Thank you so much, Juan. Thank you so much, Hari. We really appreciate you taking the time to speak to the community with all of your expertise, and enjoy Agent Scanner, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a good one.